friends, welcome to the VonderKnits Podcast, episode 17. My name is Kayla and I am your host on this knitting, crocheting, and making YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. It is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, and I am just excited that you've chosen to hang out with me today. So I do have some knitting, some crocheting, a lot of finished objects to share with you. And I just can't wait. Before we jump into that though, if you do want to follow me elsewhere on the internet, I can be found on Instagram as VonderKnits and on Ravelry as Kayla VonderKnit. There will be more tea breaks than normal. I'm a little bit under the weather, but this is like the only day in my schedule that I could podcast, so we're gonna do it to it. I have some chamomile tea in my Arizona mug. This is a nice sturdy mug. Yeah, some chamomile tea with honey. But okay, getting into finished objects, let's start with one of the blankets that I've crocheted. So I made this out of Michael's Big Cakes, which is a 100% acrylic yarn. The colorway is Toffee Brickle. And I did use a 5mm crochet hook when I was making this. It is just a basic ripple blanket. I counted this morning. I did not cast on. I chained 128 chains, and then I started rippling. This is an old pattern that I've used for a very long time, but it's just a basic ripple pattern. And I did make it 40 inches by 40 inches. So it's a nice receiving size blanket. And yeah, it's really pretty. I'm not gonna undo it. It's about 40 by 40, but it's a really fun color. And I really like it. I like these like self-striping yarns for ripple blankets because the color does all the work and you just get to crochet away. So I did finish this one. And then after I finished crocheting this blanket, I immediately started another one. So, ta-da! This is also the Caron Big Cakes, which again, 100% acrylic, so it's washable and dryable, but the colorway is Boysenberry. I again chained 128 stitches, and then I used a US, it's an H, but it's a 5mm crochet hook to make this. I really like these colors. I like teal. I think like everybody has a teal moment in their life, but I like the teal with the purple and the blue. So pretty. So yeah, originally these, I forgot to mention this is also 40 by 40 inches. But yeah, so good. Originally I was gonna mail these out to Friday morning charity, but my husband was like, why don't you call some local places and see if they have a need for any baby blankets. So someone in my daughter's class, a mother from my daughter's class actually works for a nonprofit and got me in touch with the right people locally. So I am just waiting on a phone call back from the head of the Family and Children's Services here in our county, and then I'm going to drop these off when I have a chance. So she was very excited when I called, you know, just reaching out to see if they had a need, and she was like, yes, we would love that. So I'm excited that they're going to be used by someone locally, and it feels good to help the community. So yes, 2 crochet blankets, and I really like crochet blankets, especially like the 40 by 40 inches, because I feel like they work up so fast. I think I crocheted those in like 10 days, so nice. Another finished object, I showed this last time I podcasted, but we have a ripple top done, and I think this is the last of my ripple tops this summer. Last time I could not think of this colorway. It's actually Turkish Delight. So the yarn is Hawthorne kettle dye from Knit Picks. It's a 75% superwash, 25% polyamide. And the colorway is Turkish Delight. So it's like a purpley, more purple than pink, but it's like a bright purpley magenta-y color. It's so good. It's really pretty. but I knit this for my niece. The pattern is the Ripple Bralette by Jessie Maed Designs, but I omitted the tighter band at the bottom and I just knit it longer. I made this one 14 inches long, so my niece can hopefully wear it for a bit longer. And I made the size small. And I did use a US size 4 needle on this. I think this one I did in a it was a 16-inch circular. I knit this one on. I don't even the pattern calls for a size 3, and I don't even think I have a size 3 needle. Do I? I might, maybe like one or two, but I don't really use size 3 very much, so I'm usually a size 4 or size 2 girly. But yeah, this is so good, and it's a 3x3 rib. It stretches so much. My daughter has a couple of these tops, and she either wears it to sleep in or she throws it on with like some jeans or a zip up coat, and it's so cute. Not a zip up coat, but like a zip up like hoodie. So cute. So yeah, let's see if I can, there we go. But yeah, so I think my niece will love that. I need to get it sent out to her. Okay, so my friends, if you don't know or if you don't participate, the summer sock camp has started, and I love summer sock camp. I love knitting socks anyways, so this is just kind of a fun opportunity for me to knit a lot of socks and not feel bad about it. But I participated, I want to say 2 years ago, and I cast on like 6 pairs of socks at midnight. I did not enjoy that because it felt like, I was just bouncing all over all of the socks, and I don't know, I'm more, if you've been here for a while, I'm a monogamous crafter. I like to have like 1 or 2 things going, and that's it. So having all the socks cast on was not for me. And then last year I participated, but we were moving across the country midsummer, so that was kind of stressful, and I didn't knit very many socks. So this year though, I'm a girl with a plan. So my plan for summer sock camp is to have a pair of more complicated socks for working on at home when I have the brain space, like a pattern sock or a colorwork sock. And then my plan is to have a vanilla pair of socks on the needles at all times, just so I can take them out and about with me or have them at the gym, which is why I've finished so many pairs, because my daughter is a competitive gymnast and I'm at the gym 7 hours a week with her, so that's what I'm working on. So anyway, my first pair, these were actually finished before summer sock camp even started, so I don't count these towards summer sock camp, but I did finish them since I last podcasted. These, okay, so these are Laines Du Nord summer sock yarn, and it is a cotton nylon blend. I had the tag somewhere, it like disappeared while we were out and about, I think, but the colorway is a number. I'll look it up and put it in the description below. But my husband picked these out when we were shopping at Wild Fibers, and I have never knit him a pair of cotton socks, so he asked for these. And I look at that matching on the, I did not intentionally try to match up the striping. It comes in an 80-gram ball, which is interesting because most sock yarn is 100 grams, but it's only 80 grams, but it has the same yardage. I guess cotton weighs less than wool, but I got really, really close on that, and I didn't even mean to. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna try and see what happens. And look at that, it's so close. It's almost, I got lost in the sauce towards the end there. Yeah, for some reason when socks stripe, my toes always get wonky. And like, it matches all the way up until it doesn't match right here. Anyway, Laines Du Nord sock for my husband. I used a US size 2.75 millimeter 9-inch circular for these. I cast on 64 stitches. And I knit them shorter than I normally do. That's what I wanted to say. Usually for my husband, I do 20 rounds and then I do 40 rounds on the leg. I just did 20 and 20 per his request, which also worked out because I feel like there was less yarn in the ball left over than what there normally is. But yeah, slip stitch, heel flap, my gusset, down the toe, matches up pretty well. I'm really happy like that matched up so well on accident. Except for here. Oh my gosh. It's not gonna bother me. I'm not gonna let it bother me. So, socks for husband. He can have those now. He's excited. He came out the other day. He had showered and got his cozy clothes. He put his cozy clothes on and he came out in a pair of socks. And he was like, why is my toe cold? And we looked down and it was a pair of his hand knit socks. That's all he wears. His entire big toe was sticking out. So he had just like, there was just a hole, a giant hole. And he was very sad. It was one of his favorite pairs of socks that I made him. And I'm like, I can make you more. And he's like, that's not the point. But man has so many socks and he loves every single pair. So I don't mind making him socks. It makes me happy. But yeah, a lot of times if there's like a hole in socks, I try to mend it. There was no mending this pair. It was like the entire toe area was missing. But so this is my first actual pair of socks for summer sock camp. Oh my gosh, they're so fun. So these are also for my husband. He's getting a lot of socks because he loves them and he always asks for socks. He also asks for other things, but it's things like, oh gosh, what was the last thing he just asked for? It's the spice cardigan from, is it Andrea Renee Knits or Dre Renee Knits? Anyway, it's the spice cardigan and it does like beautiful spin cycle yarn and like magpie fibers yarn, and he wants the exact thing. I told him one day, but yeah, 9 times out of 10, if he requests something, it's socks. So I knit these for him on a 9-inch circular as well, US size 2, 2.75 millimeter, cast on 64 stitches. These I did the traditional 20 rounds, 40 down the leg, slip stitch heel flap, gusset down the foot. This yarn, this is my first time ever using Zauerball. So this is a Schoppel Zauerball Crazy. That cat is so freaking cute. Look at him. Oh, so cute. Zauerball Crazy. And I picked this up at Fidalgo Needle Arts over in Anacortes. It was a new to me yarn shop and I picked it up. I picked this ball up for him and then I picked up a Zauerball for me as well. But this is my first time using Zauerball. Loved it. The colorway. Let's see if that'll... Oh, the lighting is wonky here. It is Grune Woche. Sorry, I don't speak German. I know I butchered that. Grune Woche. I think it translates to Green Week. So fun. Just a fun little like barber pole funky socks. So good. Oh, also about these, I found it interesting. It's biodegradable. Let's see, where does it say? That is in German. I don't speak German. They have a biodegradable polyamide fiber. It's so cool. I thought that was so neat. I got so excited. So that led into a conversation with my husband about biodegradability in knitted products and sustainability of knitted products, and you know. So anyway, I just think that's so cool. So another pair of socks have been finished. I just finished these last night. These are, again, another pair of socks for my husband. So good. I actually bought this yarn for me. And then he has worn out so many pairs of socks that I told him he could have this. This yarn is from 5 Borough yarns. And it is part of the Crafters Assemble collection that they released several years ago. I want to say it was 3 years ago. But it is the colorway Sorcerer Supreme. It is the 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards for 100 grams. Classic fingering. The Sorcerer Supreme colorway based on Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange. But I bought this for myself originally, and I brought I bought my husband the Captain America and the Loki colorways, and then he has worn through, like, his Captain America and Loki socks are not doing well. So I told him he could have my Sorcerer Supreme colorway, and he was so pleased. It's so pretty. So yes, again, I knit these on a US size 2.75 millimeter needle, 64 stitches. I knit these on 9-inch circulars as well. I've been on a 9-inch circular kick. So yeah, 9-inch circulars, 64 stitches, 20 rounds of ribbing, 40 rounds down the leg, slip stitch, heel flap, gusset, decrease down the foot. I think I'm gonna switch to a size 1 for him. I feel like my gauge has gotten looser. Looking at all these socks in the camera, I feel like they're a bit bigger than they usually are. Maybe my gauge has gotten looser as I knit when I'm tired. I don't know. But anyway, yes, so 2 pairs of socks done for summer sock camp, and then I have two more pairs on the needles. So we'll start with this pair. I cast these on first. If you don't see that, that is a pattern. Here, let me take that out. So these socks are in a plastic bag that I bought from Knit Picks that I love, because you can take this into places that have like bag policies. Woo! Whoa. So these socks are on Hawthorne fingering, and it is the Confetti Speckle, which I love confetti. It reminds me of confetti cake. And it is superwash Highland wool and polyamide. Fingering weight yarn, Confetti Speckle. Let me show you how it looks in the cake. I've got it in a cozy, and it's really cute. I'll show you in a sec. That's what it looks caked up. Looks like confetti speckles. Love it, love it. And it is in a yarn cozy with a cute little fox from Fox and Pine Stitches. I used to think yarn cozies were silly, and then I started using them and I love them. But this was in the December 2023 Yarnable box. It was fox themed. It was so cute. So yes, but I am knitting these socks on a US size 1 2.25 millimeter needle, and I am using the Charcuterie Anyone pattern from Crystal Tea Knits. Again, I received that in the November 2023 Yarnable box, I believe. Right? Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure it was November. But anyway. Can you see the pattern? Oh, it's supposed to look like a charcuterie board. I love it. So I'm knitting these on a US size 1 2.25 millimeter needle. I am knitting the medium size, which is 64 stitches, and these are going to be for my sister. I love that. So the pattern's called Charcuterie Anyone, and the yarn reminds me of confetti cake. So I'm calling these my Cakecuterie Socks. I don't know, that cracks me up. It's so funny. I think it's hilarious. I don't know why. I think it just sounds funny to say, and it makes me giggle. But yeah, isn't the yarn so pretty? My sister has a soft spot in her heart for speckles. She watched one of my podcasts and then like texted me and was like, I love the speckled yarn. So here you go, sis. But yeah, I just did a shorter rib on this one. I don't know. I don't think my sister likes super tall socks. So whine, whine, whine. We are complaining because it's been rainy the past few days and the dogs can't run in the yard, so they are complaining. But yeah, so cute. Medium size, 64 stitches on US size 1, right? Yeah, US size 1 2.25 millimeter needles. Magic loop method. I love these Chiagus. They're so nice. Love them. So yeah, let me put them away. I just did the slip stitch heel flap on that, and I'm through the gusset pickups, and I think I've done like 1 repeat of the pattern. So I'm trying to balance like how many pattern completions I can get versus like the sock being too long. So I haven't put a ton of work in on that one yet. We've been mostly knitting vanilla socks around here, but Oh, let me put that back in there. Okay, last work in progress is living in my food truck bag, which I forgot I had. I had a lot of my smaller project bags put away in not a plastic basket, a wooden basket up on my knitting shelf. And then I opened it and this was buried, and I got so excited. I like squealed when I saw it because I think this is perfect for summer. Because food trucks remind me of summer, and I love pretzels, they're so good. But I picked this bag up at 614 Knit Studio in Columbus, Ohio when we lived there, and I love it. And my tassels are a little messed up because kitty cats, but that's okay. So yes, living in this bag is some Madeline Tosh Wool Cycle Sport. I picked this up from Wild Fibers in Mount Vernon, my closest local yarn shop. Even though there are many close shops, this is the closest to me. And this is a sport weight. It's 327 yards. 2 fine yarn, and it is upcycled superwash. And the colorway, my friends, is Adelaide. So can you guess who these are for? This is the first time ever that my daughter like saw a yarn and saw the name and like begged and pleaded with me to buy it for her. Which was so sweet because she saw it on a like different trip to Wild Fibers, and I had already purchased it for her and hid it on the shelf so I could surprise her with Adelaide socks. So anyway, this is the color, which is like perfect. It's so good. It's perfect. Oh, it's like a pretty corally pinky, so good. So my daughter requested some shorties, so we did 10 rounds of ribbing, 20 rounds of leg, a slip stitch heel, down the gusset. I am on the toe right now, and I stopped because I'm not sure if I want to decrease down to 12 or decrease down to 8, and I have choice paralysis, so I just stopped. And I have got an assortment of stitch markers on there. These are from Fangirl Fibers. These were her, was it like Spooky Ghost Camp or something like that? I actually won these during a thick sock make-along. So that was part of the prize. It was this Spooky Camp stitch markers, which is fitting for summer sock camp. And then this fox. This fox came in the Yarnable December 2023 box, and he's so cute. But yeah. Oh, they're perfect for my daughter. So I am using a US size 1 2.25 millimeter needle. I know it's a sport weight yarn, but it's fine. But for this pair, I actually cast on 56 stitches because the yarn's a little bit fatter. I didn't quite know, you know, I usually knit her like 56 or 60 stitch socks. So I went ahead and did a 56 on this just to, you know, make sure if they were a little bit bigger, they would still fit fairly well. So they're so cute. Oh, so cute. So that's it. That's it. I am sorry that I am not super high energy today. I am a little sicky, and it was either podcast today or no podcast this month. So I made the choice to podcast. Is that everything? That's everything. So I guess life stuff. I have not finished a book since we last chatted. We have not been watching much TV. There are fuzzies everywhere. My life is fuzzies. We have not been watching much TV. Fuzzies in my mouth. We have been busy. It's the end of the school year is coming to a close. So I've been volunteering to be in the classroom. I've been going on field trips. I'm working part-time at night, and then we're just busy. Oh, our garden, so we've been working out in the garden a lot. That's why we've not been reading a ton or watching a lot of TV. We've been out in the garden. We took about a 20 by 20 plot of land in our backyard and we tilled it up, and we had to kill the grass first, and then we tilled up the land, and then we got cedar chips to make a path around it. So we have 8 beds out there. I think are they 6 by 3, like 8 6 by 3 beds out in the yard, something like that. My husband did all the plotting and planning for that, and I just planted what I wanted. So he knows the exact numbers, but like the back corner of our yard is all garden now. It's gorgeous. It's so aesthetically pleasing. We planted over the weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. So we planted just riding ground. We're gonna see what happens. This is our first year planting in this zone. I think we're 8B now, and we used to be, it was a different 8 in Ohio. But we're 8B now, which is like a marine biome. So anyway, we've been doing a lot of gardening, a lot of reading up on gardening, just getting that ready. Yeah, just kind of end of school year gymnastics practices have picked up, swim lessons and other gymnastics, and it's just busy. Gardening from, Mother's Day was a few weeks ago. We went over to Anacortes and checked that out, and we did some checking out of neighborhoods and a little bit of house hunting. And then we went to Fidalgo Yarn Arts. So lovely, such a cute little shop. We got some candy from a local candy store. We went to a bookstore in Mount Vernon. Oh, it was so good. It was just a really good weekend. Yeah, that's about it. Just kind of just trying to finish out the school year strong. Sad news, our kitty disappeared. We had some issues where he was just bolting out the door every time we would open it, or just all the time, and we tried to we would block him half the time, but he got creative and started like parkouring off the wall out the door, or like jumping off the water heater, like flying at you to get out the back door. So we let him just kind of stay in our yard, and he was really good about staying in our yard until he just kind of wandered off the other day. And when we called for him that night, he didn't come in, but we woke up in the morning and we did find cat toys that we didn't purchase in our mudroom. We do have a doggy door where he could, in case he comes back in the night, he could come in, but I think he found another family. I'm not sure. He's like 10 years old, but he's spry. So I don't know. We're sad. We did have to have a talk with the kids though, when he started like running away every day, that like he may not come back. So the kids were kind of like prepared in that scenario. I have just kind of prepared myself when he started like going outside and bolting, that like this may be a thing that happens. My husband's distraught. He has been to all of our neighbors. He's been across the street to the healthcare facility. He has been walking the alleys every night, calling for him. I've been kind of checking the alleys during the day. So we're hoping that he just made friends and he comes home soon. Yeah. So I don't know. Everyone's kind of sad, and we're just waiting for him to come home. But anyway, sorry to end on a sad note. It's just he was our little rescue kitten, and now he's gone back to the wilderness maybe. So I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for just checking out all my crafting I've been up to. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's good to chat with you guys. It's good to share what I've been making, and take care of yourselves and take care of each other until we chat again. Bye.